I usually offer a little prayer when I go down here, that we will always remember those who lost their lives in the Armenian Genocide. 1.5 million, 1915. And there's Mount Ararat. Hi everyone, I'm Mitch and welcome to my channel. I'm Australian by nationality, but oddly enough, I found my roots in this ancient land of Armenia. When I first visited Armenia with my wife 15 years ago, I had like a déjà vu experience. I felt that my soul was at peace when I first put my feet on Armenian land, when I stepped off the plane. In short, I felt that this was my home. So I'd like to share with you some of my thoughts and experiences of what it's like to actually live in this ancient land of Armenia through this series of videos. I hope that you'll stay with me and join me as we explore Armenia together, and I take you to some very interesting places and tell you what it's like from my experience as an Aussie to live in this beautiful land. A lot of you will be pretty much confined to your homes during this time of the coronavirus epidemic and are frightened and worried about what will happen when all of this is over. You might be asking yourselves the questions, will the world ever be the same? Will I have a job? Will I be able to pay the mortgage? Will it ever be safe to walk outside again and to have contact with people again? These are all valid questions. But may I suggest, rather than having this spirit of fear, use this time to reflect on your life and search your heart. Ask yourself, what is the real meaning of life and what is the purpose of life? God does not want us to have this spirit of fear. St. Paul said to his spiritual son Timothy in the second book of Timothy, chapter 1 and verse 7, "For God does not give us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind." So why don't we try to breathe out this spirit of fear and breathe in God's love for us at this time? Please bear with me and don't get frightened that I'm talking to you a little bit about God before we go for our little walk to the park. It's not meant to frighten you. It's meant to give you some little bit of hope. Jesus said, "Come to me, all of you who labour and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest." He means all of us who are troubled and burdened by the cares of this life. There is a solution. Give all your burdens to him, and you will find peace. I'm one who knows, because I was one who had lost my peace. I lost my way in this life, and I found hope in my Saviour Jesus. And I hope you do too. As we're currently in a lockdown here in Armenia at the moment, I'm not going to film outside until we get the all clear from our government. So I decided to show you a video of an early morning walk I took in early March instead. Please join with me as we walk together from our home to the Genocide Memorial Park, which is called Sitsanakabert. I hope you enjoy it. It's 7:30 in the morning. I think it's Wednesday, probably the 4th of March. And Sona's just gone off to work, so I want to invite you to come along for my morning walk. So we're going to head out through that arch. Our place is kind of back there somewhere, through that little walkway. So let's go. Will lead us on to Kievyan or Kievyan Street. It's quite a main road. If we go right at that set of traffic lights, that'll take us into the city. So, you can see by the types of buildings here, they're all pretty much made of this pink tufa stone, which is like that. Quite big blocks they are. This is the local post office. It's called High Post. Some little shops, delis. And this place here is, you can't really see it. I'll take you in there one day, but this is actually you can say it's a butcher shop, but it's more like a barbecue shop. It doesn't look like it there, but yeah, you can possibly see the meat through there in a window, or you're seeing a reflection of me, I don't know. And around the corner on the right hand side they have like a barbecue area where they will they'll cook up all these animals, so to speak. Little fruit and veg shop here. Now the butcher shop, by the way, or the barbecue shop, they don't barbecue meat like we do. So they cook the meat over hot coals on skewers. Do it that way. These little buses come in, this yellow one you can see. These are little local transport buses with numbers on. For 100 grams, or about 25 cents US, that'd be about 35 to 40 cents Australian. They pretty much take you anywhere in Yerevan. It's a single ride. Over there is SAS supermarket. It's quite big actually inside there. A little bit expensive, but if you need some produce and stuff like that, it's pretty good. Yeah, like I was saying, that's the SAS supermarket. Sorry, I got a phone call and I had to stop the video. And yeah, pretty much everything in there. Most produce, canned foods, milk, butter, basically everything you need. But like I said, a bit expensive. We go to a much bigger one, like the equivalent of Coles or something like that in Australia. But this one you would say is like, oh, I don't know, do they still have Foodland or something in South Australia? Something like that. And there's a gym there, and a pizza place in the background there. That's not bad, but it's not traditional Armenian food. So we're about to walk over the Kievyan bridge. It's another one of these little mini buses. So down there is, well, you can't see it very well there, but that's called the Ararat River. This is a big deep canyon. Over there in the distance is the sports centre. We're going to be walking alongside of that later on. We're just about to see the sunrise over there, and you'll see this is taken from the bridge. That's the Ararat River there. It looks like a boat, but it's not. It's a restaurant. And over the other side of the bridge, we've got another set of beautiful mountains. That's Ararat, which is actually the highest mountain in Armenia. As I said before, we've got Ararat, but Ararat is actually now in Turkey. Ararat is really, really beautiful. Here's another view from the bridge. Ararat River and Gorge. Sun is just starting to peek over those mountains in the distance. So good morning, everybody. So it looks like you're going to have a wonderful view of Ararat this morning. Of course, Ararat is the traditional mountain of Armenia. Before it was given over to Turkey for political reasons in the early 1900s. But it's so spectacular. I never ever tire of seeing it. Hope you can see that there. We'll get a better view of that later on. Just to the left of the restaurant, we're going to turn around here. There's Ararat. Some billboards. That's what type of entertainment they have here in this restaurant. And I'm going to turn around here and you can see the sports centre, which I showed you the other day. This is the restaurant, and that courtyard there, in summertime it's buzzing with people and bands and stuff like that. And they'll have these are little like lakes, Still too early to put water in there, but it looks all very beautiful once it's all done. And we're going to be walking up here, up through there. Just a minute. It's actually quite an incline here and good exercise. I'm not going to film all the way up. You can see the Kievyan bridge where we've just walked over and the mountains in the background. How can you get tired of that? More mountains here. So we reached the top of that incline now. You can tell I'm out of breath. I hope that gives you some visual impression of the slope, where we've been and where we're going to. So let's go. There's not much in the way of greenery here yet. It's too cold. By the end of March, sort of early to mid-April, it's going to be all green here and really spectacular again. I think it's spectacular in any season, to be honest. And okay, so you can tell we're walking alongside the sports centre, which kind of reminds me of the Opera House in some ways. Got some similar kind of shapes and angles. Oh yeah, that's the path we're taking. And we've got these little water fountains all over the place. So that's my first stop once I've done the big walk up there. Big for me anyway. Careful not to drink too much because the water's very cold. Call this the magical forest area. I love walking through here, and later on in spring when the leaves are out, it forms a canopy over the top of this path. Could you hear the woodpecker up there? Oh, he's up there somewhere. Anyway, yeah, it's beautiful, peaceful. Well, there's the woodpecker again. Just I turned the camera around anyway. So now we've come to the major group of stairs that lead to the memorial. There's another path, a big pathway down there that you can take. But this is the way we're going to go, up there. And I usually go up sideways because of my back and my state of fitness or unfitness at the moment, or whatever you want to call it. I go like that. It just makes it easier. It's longer, but for me, I don't know, it's just easier. Getting old. But in a month's time maybe I'll be able to go straight up. There was a shot there. Oh yeah, there's the mountains there in the distance. So We reached the top, nearly. It's the Genocide Memorial and the eternal flame inside of there. A very sacred place. That's where we've been. I usually offer a little prayer when I go down here, that we will always remember those who lost their lives in the Armenian genocide. 1.5 million, 1915. And there's Mount Ararat. Traditional Armenian territory, mountain sacred to the Armenian people, and well, for political reasons it's not in the land of Armenia, but the Armenians call it theirs. Let's just say it belongs to all people on the earth. Nice park through here. So inside this building, which looks like a military bunker, houses the Genocide Memorial Museum. Well, it's a memorial, of course, for all of the people who lost their lives during the genocide, and it's extremely moving place to visit. It's very sad, but it's a pictorial history of the events of the genocide, and the terrible sufferings that the people went through. There's a big department store down there called Dalma. Yeah, well, it's probably a bit like Marion Shopping Centre, something like that. You've seen one, you've seen them all, sort of thing. Sports fields down there, mostly soccer. There's some clay tennis courts down there, I think, too, if you can see them, yeah. And again, Ararat, Mount Ararat and Little Ararat, if you can see, yeah, in the distance. And in this area here, this is set aside for the planting of trees in remembrance of the genocide by various governments of the world. For example, this one here, Monsieur Francis Hollande, President, Republic of France. So we've come to the end of our little tour of the Genocide Memorial part. Some more water fountains here. They constantly go. People might think that's a horrible waste of water, but water is so plentiful here, it never goes to waste. Some plaques over there, some floral what are they called? Reefs, yeah. That's where we're going to be heading along that path there. There's some doggies out for their morning walk. That's the path I was showing you before, which leads up another path, the main path, up to the memorial. Now we're heading directly towards the sports centre. It's a really beautiful morning this morning, and once we go past the the sports centre there, we'll be heading down and on our way back home. We're heading around the left hand side of the sports centre here. And you've got a clear view of Mount Ararat in the background. So now we're heading back down the stairs. This is not a very pretty sight over here. There's supposed to be beautiful fountains here. They will get around to cleaning that all up. When they're all operational later on, when the warmer months come, it's quite beautiful. Back into the craziness. This is when I wish for a nice little place in the country. I don't like big cities very much. Anyway, who knows, maybe one day. Should be thankful for what we have, eh? So that's the restaurant that we walked past before there. And down here is an underpass, and allegedly there are places of ill repute down here. I shouldn't really take you down there, but I'm going to anyway. It's the only way to get to the other side after all. It's not a very beautiful area, that's for sure. I think that might be one of them. This place with the flashing lights is definitely one of them. Need I say any more? Seedy part of town. It's a bit of a doggy park here for people to come and let their dogs off the lead and have a run around. bike's a good idea. Last year somebody thought of a bright idea with these bikes you can hire. They've got meters on them and stuff like that. They've got special locks, codes, and yeah, it's generally a good idea. Morning craziness. Now there's a lot more traffic, of course, going across the Kievyan bridge once more. Another view of the canyon from the other side. So we're nearly at the end of our walk. Just have to cross over at this pedestrian crossing. Doesn't give you that many seconds to walk across, so I'll wait. We've got 20 seconds before we have to cross over. Thankfully everybody stopped. We're safe on the other side. And why don't we end the video with some street dogs who have found a free meal here. Hello doggies. Hello. What you found? Hey? You found some lavash. Bon appetit. Some mural here being painted. Well, somebody lives behind there, believe it or not. And here we are back in our yard. So I hope you enjoyed this little glimpse of Armenian life. If you did, and you'd like to see more in the future, please consider subscribing. No, I'm not going to plead with you. Hit the notification bell so you'll be notified of any future videos. And may God bless you all. Stay safe. It's bye from Mitch. See ya.